This is going to be another brief instructional video on one of the core apps on the Flipper Zero. The question that I get frequently is, what is the difference between read and read raw in the sub-GHz app? So I'm going to show you. Okay, so let's go to the sub-GHz app, and as you can see, there's read raw, saved, add manually, frequency analyzer, which I'm going to explain in a different video, and radio settings. The difference between read and read raw is simple. Read will only work on recognized protocols for remotes. Read raw, on the other hand, will record any signal whether or not the device knows what it is. So I'll show you an example of reading a fob that is using a known protocol. So you click read. I'm going to press the button, and as you can see, it's showing that it's a Princeton 2F CD04. So if I click on this, I can see some information. On this, it's not telling me what the button does. On some of them, it'll say off, on, arm, disarm, lock, unlock, or whatever the command is. But this one isn't telling me what it's for. So if I click the right button and go to save, I can save this, and then I can go back and I can go into saved. And at the bottom, we have the signal. I can click on it, I can rename it, I can delete it, and I can see where the location of it was taken. This only works if you have the GPS or GNSS module attached while you're taking the recording. If I go to emulate, it brings me to this, and it tells you the frequency and the modulation in the top right corner. If I click send, it'll send the signal. So simple as that. You just press, you press the middle button and it'll send the signal. Now if I'm going to delete this now. If I go to read raw, it'll still work, but it's just a little bit different. So if I go to record and I click the lock button, and then I click the unlock button, and then I stop and I save this, I can go back into saved, and I will also see that, and then I can replay it by pressing the button. It brings you to this screen, and there you go. It's going to replay the signal. It also tells you the modulation and the frequency, except this is in the top left corner. R means what antenna you're using. INT means internal. If you have like a KOR 41 sub-GHz antenna connected to it, for example, it would say EXT instead of INT. RSSI means received signal strength index. And if you click on the more button, you can try to decode it. So if I click decode, it's gonna tell me that it's a Princeton, just like I had done previously in the read. So read raw is safer for if you want to capture a signal and you don't exactly know whether it's going to be supported by the read function. And then later on, after you record that signal, you can have the Flipper Zero analyze that signal and find out if it is a supported protocol. If it is, you click on it and you do the same thing. You right-click save, and then you save the file. And the difference is if you go to raw, when you click it, it shows a different screen. It just acts differently. And if you go to this, it'll say emulate instead. I click the button and then it works. So there you go, folks. There is read and read raw explained. If you guys have any questions or any recommendations for another video, don't feel free to leave them in the comments below. Happy flipping, everybody, and I hope you learned something new.